Caitanya. Shri Caitanya Caritamrita, Jaya Jaya Shri Caitanya, Jaya Nityananda, Jaya Advaita Chandra, Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda, Jaya Jaya Shri Caitanya, Jaya Nityananda, Jaya Advaita Chandra, Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda, Jaya Jaya Shri Caitanya, Jaya Nityananda, Jaya Advaita Chandra, Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. We are reading from Adi Lila, chapter 5, Glories of Lord Nityananda. We are on text 14 and we have read a few paragraphs of the purport. I'll just read the translation again. Beyond the material nature lies the realm known as Paravyoma, the spiritual sky. Like Lord Krishna himself, it possesses all transcendental attributes, such as the 6 opulences. So the Paravyoma, the spiritual sky, which is beyond the material nature, it is all the 6 opulences of Lord Krishna, all the transcendental qualities of Lord Krishna. We continue reading from the purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. To a gross materialist, this kingdom of God, Vaikuntha, is certainly a mystery. But to an ignorant man, everything is a mystery for want of sufficient knowledge. The kingdom of God is not a myth. Even the material planets, which float over our heads in the millions and billions, are still a mystery to the ignorant. Material scientists are now attempting to penetrate this mystery, and a day may come when the people of this earth will be able to travel in outer space and see the variegatedness of these millions of planets with their own eyes. In every planet, there is as much material variegatedness as we find in our own planet. So there is variety. In our own planet, we see how much variety is there. Different types of trees, different types of flowers, different types of birds, animals. You know, there's so much variety is there. So this variety is there in other planets also of this material world. And the variety is also there in the different planets of the spiritual world. Spiritual world. This planet Earth is but an insignificant spot in the cosmic structure. Yet foolish men, puffed up by a false sense of scientific advancement, have concentrated their energy in the pursuit of so-called economic development on this planet, not knowing of the variegated economic facilities available on other planets. So we are one tiny planet amongst millions and billions of planets which are floating around. There is millions and billions of universes, unlimited amount of universes, and each of these universes have many, many planets. And so this our one tiny earth is, if we see the whole big and the whole picture of things, it's a very, very, very insignificant planet. And our universe is the smallest universe. That's the reason our Brahmaji has only 4 heads, you know. So then that's the reason there's nothing to be proud of. You don't need to be proud that we have done so much economic development. According to modern astronomy, the gravity of the moon is different from that of Earth. Therefore, one who goes to the moon will be able to pick up large weights and jump vast distances. In the Ramayana, Hanuman is described as being able to lift huge weights, as heavy as hills, and jump over the ocean. Modern astronomy has confirmed that this is indeed possible. So the higher living beings living on higher planets, they have more, they can do more superhuman acts than we can do. We can't just jump vast distances over an ocean or lift up a hill, but Hanumanji can. Hanumanji can. So based on different planets, different living entities have different capabilities. Even on this earth, we can see there are different types of human beings who have different capabilities. Each of us have different capabilities. The disease of the modern civilized man is his disbelief of everything in the revealed scriptures. Faithless non-believers cannot make progress in spiritual realization, for they cannot understand the spiritual potency. The small fruit of a banyan tree contains hundreds of seeds, and in each seed is the potency to produce another banyan tree with the potency to produce millions more of such fruits. This law of nature is visible before us, although how it works is beyond our understanding. This is but an insignificant example of the potency of Godhead. There are many similar phenomena that no scientist can explain. So we believe whatever we hear and study in our school and universities, whatever we are hearing from the people in power right now. They could be in any different field. It could be entertainers. They could be, if someone is famous, we think that whatever they are speaking is the truth. We believe in them. We don't question, oh, this person is famous. Yes, but he's famous in one particular field of one activity. Whereas he's giving a comment on spiritual knowledge. How much of spiritual knowledge does he or she have that I should be believing in them? We don't think that. We're just thinking, oh, if somebody famous is speaking something about spirituality, yes, so they must be speaking the truth. That's not the criteria. The real spiritual knowledge is given to us in the revealed scriptures. In the revealed scriptures. The revealed scriptures, they have the spiritual potency. Prabhupada says that his books, why they are creating so many devotees, is because he's presented the scriptures as it is, Bhagavad Gita as it is. So the spiritual potency is there. And that is what touches our heart, because we are, after all spirit souls. We are all spiritual beings. So here Prabhupada is just giving a tiny example. He's showing us an example that the law of nature is there, that in one tiny fruit of a banyan tree, there are millions and billions of trees inside this one seed. Inside one fruit, there are hundreds of seeds, and these seeds have capacity to produce millions and millions of more trees are there, because millions of fruits are going to be made. This is the power of the Lord. The laws, natures are made by the Supreme Lord, and so this is his power, that in a tiny seed he can pack up millions of trees. It's unimaginable to us. Everything, in fact, is inconceivable, for the truth is revealed only to the proper persons. Although there are varieties of personalities from Brahma down to the insignificant ant, all of whom are living beings, their development of knowledge is different. Therefore, we have to gather knowledge from the right source. From the right source. So the truth is really inconceivable. The absolute truth is inconceivable to us. Why? Because we are right now, although we are spiritual, yes, but right now this body that we have, that is material. So our senses are imperfect. They are limited to the material. Our mind is limited to the material. So everything seems inconceivable. Inconceivable. How do we get this knowledge of the inconceivable? How? Through the revealed scriptures. It's in the scriptures. And that's the reason it's so important that we hear from the right source. Indeed, in reality, we can get knowledge only from the Vedic sources. The Vedas, that's the origin of knowledge. Ved means knowledge. All the knowledge that we need. It could be for material well-being, mental, physical, economic, spiritual, everything is there in the Vedas. Everything, because that is the knowledge, the source of all knowledge. The four Vedas with their supplementary Puranas, the Mahabharata, the Ramayana, and the Kala release, which are known as Smritis, are all authorized sources of knowledge. If we are at all to gather knowledge, we must gather it from these sources without hesitation, authorized sources of knowledge. So when we are, for example, enrolled in a law school, then there are textbooks. Those textbooks are authorized by the Board of Education, by uh, the law department, Board of Education. So those are authorized textbooks for us to understand, oh, if I'm going to learn from this textbook, the knowledge of my law, what I'm going to study is going to make me a good lawyer. Similarly, all knowledge is there in these authorized sources of knowledge, the Ved, the Mahabharata, the Puranas, Ramayana, corollaries, and then Bhagavad, of course, the essence of all the Vedas. The essence of all the Vedas is Srimad Bhagavatam. The essence of the Vedas, Srila Vyasadeva, he put that because the Vedas were so vast, so he compiled the Vedanta Sutra, like a summary of all the Vedas, and then a commentary on the Vedanta Sutra. That's Srimad Bhagavatam. So Srimad Bhagavatam is the essence, the cream of all the Vedas. And Bhagavad Gita is called Gita Upanishad, the essence of all the Upanishads. So revealed knowledge may be in the beginning to be unbelievable because of our paradoxical desire to verify everything with our tiny brains. But the speculative means of attaining knowledge is always imperfect. Perfect knowledge propounded in the revealed scriptures is confirmed by the great acharyas who have left ample commentations upon them. None of these acharyas has disbelieved in the Shastras. One who disbelieves in the Shastras is an atheist, and we should not consult an atheist, however great he may be. A staunch believer in the Shastras, with all their diversities, is the right person from whom to gather real knowledge. Such knowledge may seem inconceivable in the beginning, but when put forward by the proper authority, its meaning is revealed, and then one no longer has any doubts about it. So when we are hearing from the right source, from the right person who have the right knowledge of the scriptures, then we will get the right, then we will be able to understand the right knowledge. Then our doubts will be gradually cleared. So that's the reason it is important to hear from the right source. The great authorities, the Vedic authorities, they're always citing the scriptures because the scriptures is where the perfect knowledge is. Any comments?
No.
So we'll stop here for today. Shri Caitanya Caritamrita ki jai, Shila Prabhupada ki jai. Gaur Premanande, Hari Bol, Hare Krishna. Thank you so much for joining in and listening in.